very warm welcome to you all. For those parents and carers who are familiar with our autumn term information meetings, you'll be used to coming into the main hall and watching a PowerPoint presentation and listening to teachers talk about the new academic year. Due to the current situation, we're doing things slightly different, whereas you'll be able to watch a PowerPoint presentation and listen to teachers talk about the new academic year, but all in the comfort of your own home, without having to make any notes. Our vision at Ysgol y Ddraig is achieve, challenge and joy. And our mission statement reads, at Ysgol y Ddraig it is our purpose to work together to achieve our very best, becoming happy, mindful and confident lifelong learners. Here at Ysgol y Ddraig we have high expectations of all pupils in both behaviour and attitudes towards learning. All pupils are aware of whole school rules, as well as helping to devise a series of class rules. Pupils are aware of rewards and recognition, as well as any consequences. All staff endeavour to develop positive relationships with pupils and families through open discussion and dialogue, resulting in safe and happy children. We always expect the children to be mindful and ask themselves if what they are doing is it safe, is it responsible, and is it respectful?
So the next few slides we're going to talk a little bit about the curriculum, and this link here takes you to a video which explains some of the reasoning behind why the curriculum in Wales has changed. So this slide explains how the curriculum is structured. So there's cross-curricular responsibilities, and those are numeracy, literacy and digital competency, and those go across the whole curriculum. The curriculum is centred around 4 purposes, and if we have a look at the next slide, these are to support children to become ambitious, capable learners, enterprising, creative contributors, ethical, informed citizens and healthy, confident individuals. So basically by the age of 16, if you have a 16-year-old that embodies all of those things, you've got the ideal 16-year-old. So the next part, those 4 purposes drive the entire curriculum. Everything we do goes back to, is it helping children to become one of those things? The areas of learning, language, literacy and communication, and mathematics and numeracy. And in Ysgol y Ddraig we are teaching those discreetly in the morning. So mornings are always maths and numeracy and language, literacy and communication. And in addition to that, literacy and numeracy will then go through, as with the cross-curricular responsibilities, that will go through all of our afternoon learning as well. So the other areas of learning are humanities, science, technology, health and wellbeing and expressive arts. Within each area of learning you've got the what matters statements, and that's really the detail of the curriculum, so the actual content of what we're covering, and that is organised into progression steps. So progression steps are like our assessment markers, and they're kind of broadly age related, so it describes what you would expect to see. So in the descriptors of learning, you would have descriptions of what you would expect to see by age 5, age 8, 11, 14 and 16. Obviously only the first 3 of those apply to primary school. So in year 3 and 4, year 3 we would be working at progression step 2. And in year 4 we would be starting to look at the beginning of progression step 3, and looking for a secure end of progression step 2. The fact it's a split class isn't a problem. We'll differentiate in the same way that we always have done. We use mild, spicy, hot for most of our lessons, and that allows the children to look at where they feel they want to be working, and obviously guided by us. So mild work would be on the journey to progression step 2, that would be progression step 2 work. Spicy work would be someone who's secure, and they're at the end of progression step 2. And then hot work would be for children who are beginning to work at progression step 3. So all children will be working at different levels, even within an area of learning or a subject as they used to be. So for example, within maths, you might have somebody who, in their measuring skills, they're a secure progression step 2, and then within that same area of learning, problem solving, they might be working at progression step 3. So that's how that works. Wider skills and Welsh dimension. So that's, including obviously the fact that we're a school in Wales. Okay, so then it goes to a school level curriculum, and this is where the new curriculum is fantastic because we're able to use obviously all of the information that's in the curriculum, but then we can personalise it to the children in our school. So we can use our assessments, we can use what we know about them, we can use things that are local to us in Lantwit, and in Wales, to design a curriculum that is actually really relevant and really personal to them, so it's really meaningful. Okay, so that's just the 4 purposes again, and then that kind of lays out some of the things that I've just explained. In Ysgol y Ddraig, we have taken the 4 purposes. Obviously, we will be covering all of them over the year, but we've decided for this autumn term that we're going to prioritise healthy, confident individuals. It doesn't mean that the others won't come into our learning in autumn term, they will. It's just that the healthy, confident individuals is our driver. And the reasoning behind that, we just felt at the start of a new year, normally children have had 6 weeks off. In the current situation, they've actually had 6 months off. So we thought we would focus on, getting them to be confident being back in school, helping them to build those relationships with each other again and with staff. So our project that we're going to be working on in Dosbarth, Creddau, Pembroke and Caernarfon is called Press Play. So as I've said, we focus on healthy, confident individuals, and the area of learning that we're really focusing in on is health and well-being. Again, obviously all of the other subjects will be in that. There will absolutely be maths and numeracy, there will be science. We've already done a little bit of science in the last few weeks. All of the subjects are covered. It's just we lead the project with health and well-being and healthy, confident individuals. And the reasoning that we thought behind that was it's the start of a new year. They've been out a long time, as I've said. They haven't had as many opportunities to play with their friends, and we've noticed some relational difficulties with quite a few children, which is totally to be expected in the circumstances. And just the fact that both classes have changed, there's new children, so they've got those opportunities to make friends. So we really wanted to focus on giving them the skills, to fit with where they are. So we said it's time to press play. So we're going to be focusing a lot on games through play, making school really fun, really exciting, and giving them lots of opportunities to work together, in the more formal subjects, maths, literacy. So they'll be learning team building skills, how to solve relationship difficulties if they've fallen out with friends, all of that stuff around healthy friendships. Looking at identifying feelings and understanding how to manage them and how to stay physically healthy. Again, underpinned by all that, we are still absolutely 100% focusing on other subjects as well. It's just for our project work, that's going to be our driver. We'll be having Enrichment Days, which is where a lot of this project work will come in. That's normally going to be on a Wednesday, but it may change, and obviously children will know when that is. We're hoping that Enrichment Days is something that they're going to start to get really excited about, as it's going to be an opportunity for them to learn through lots of creative ways, through lots of new, different ways. And a lot of our learning is going to be inquiry based. So the children have already come up with, well, as you can see underneath this diagram with their wonderings on, they've come up with loads of questions just based on our topic. So these are their things that they want to explore, and we'll be doing that through our Enrichment Days.
Okay, this is Hub. Hub is a digital learning platform which we use regularly in school. It has a range of digital resources and programmes that we use to support and to develop the range of learning opportunities that the children engage with. These include things like J2 Data in maths, for example, and also Office 365, which allows the children to use Microsoft Office programmes such as Word, Excel, and these are also saved in their personal folders. So any work that they undertake in class is saved there, and then this also allows for their learning to be continued at home, because obviously they can open this up and access the same documents from their home computers. All pupils have now been given their hub logins, and we've checked that these work. So hopefully it's something that you will be able to check with your child at home as well. This is also where they have access to their own email accounts. So I'm sure you'll find it as useful as we do. Onto Google Classroom. So the children in year 3 and 4 have all been added to a new Google Classroom for this year. This is going to be an online classroom where they will be able to access homework tasks or any other tasks that we set them in during school time. The year 4 learners have used this platform before during our school closure, so they should be fairly familiar with the content and the format. However, our year 3 children, this is going to be all new to them, as obviously last time they used Seesaw. So we will give them as much support in school to make sure that they're confident in using it and accessing it in the event that we will have to sort of take over some blended learning, or if we have to close for any reason. There will be, as I mentioned just now, home learning activities set regularly on Google Classroom, and we'll also put our weekly class newsletter on here as well. So it is important that we all either become familiar or just remain familiar with the platform, as I say, is what we're going to use should distance learning become necessary. As mentioned previously, they've got their passwords for Hub, their active learn accounts, which is to support their maths. Read Theory is something that our year 4 learners used during closure, and our 3s will be new to it, but it is something that just will support their reading and their reading comprehension. We will get them set up on it in school, but again, it's something that they can continue at home. And also Spelling Shed is another platform that we use to support the children's spellings. So these usernames and passwords have been set, and we do ask kindly that they're not changed, just so that staff are able to assist the children in school, and obviously in the event that we do have to close and we do have to undertake distance learning. So we need to make sure that we've got access to their passwords should they need any support. So that would be great if you could do that. A few updates and reminders for you now. Obviously, uniform, can you please make sure that they're labelled with their names on them? They are available to buy from LM Sports or by visiting the website www.myclothing.com, and these can then obviously be ordered online. For PE days, Dosbarth Caernarfon are on Tuesdays for indoor PE and Thursdays for outdoor games. And then both Dosbarth Cleddau and Dosbarth Penfro will have their indoor PE sessions on a Monday and outdoor games on a Friday. So on those days, children are welcome to wear their PE kits to school. These will be school tops, so jumper, school t-shirt, and then they can either wear shorts, leggings or joggers depending on what the weather is like, and they will need their trainers for their outdoor PE days. The trousers, leggings and shorts do need to be dark in colour, so we don't want any football or rugby team shorts, please. Punctuality and attendance, so these are the timings of our days, just as a reminder. So the year 3 and 4 gates open at the start of the day from 9:15 to 8:45, and then they close promptly at 9 a.m. And then at the end of the day, they will be open from 3:05, and they'll be open for 10 minutes. They will close again at 3:15. Children from year 4 up are able to walk home on their own, but we do need to have consent from parents to enable that to happen. So you can just email into the school, or you can just, a telephone call will be fine. Parent pay, so payments need to be made on a Monday, please. They're £2.30 a day for BAPS and RAPS, and children in year 3 and 4 are eating lunch in the classrooms, which is working really, really well at the moment. Key stage 2 children do need to bring in a healthy fruit snack. No nut-based products, please, as we do have a few children with nut allergies, so we just put a blanket, no nut-based products, please. There is no school PTA or mass gatherings, but any PTA ideas are welcome to be shared via email, or there's also PTA do have a Facebook page. And on to our ACE News Flash. So this, I'm sure some of you have been receiving them now, but we set this up during our school closure just to give you an idea of how each year group is getting on, any key reminders that need to be in place that we need to let you about from that week. Any key dates will be included as well as our stars. So our weekly stars will be displayed here as well. There will also be, as I previously mentioned, a class newsletter. This can be emailed to you, but we will also be posting it on our individual Google Classrooms. And this is just more specific then for your own child's class. Just give you a brief outline of what they've been learning about in school, and then that enables you to continue that learning and support them at home. Again, any key dates, any reminders, anything that we need to let you know about, and some home learning ideas as well. So that will be coming out to you every single week. So if you haven't given us your email address yet, then if you could do that and provide consent just to receive this information. We're also on Twitter, where you can find lots of pictures and updates about what your child's been learning about in school. So we are at Ysgol Ddraig. And obviously our website as well, ysgolyddraig.co.uk. You can find further information. Complaints procedure. I'm sure most of you are familiar with it, but in case not, here's a quick rundown of what you need to do in the event that there is a misunderstanding or any conflict or anything that you just want to raise through the complaints procedure. So firstly, parents should contact their child's class teacher and any concerns that you may have. This needs to be done via the school office, so if you could telephone or send in an email, and then the class teacher can contact you via the telephone. Parents are also encouraged to discuss these concerns with Mr. Golding and or Miss Cadman, and again this will need to be done via the school office through email, telephone. If the concern cannot be resolved, then the school will need to receive the complaint in writing, setting out the details in full and you need to address that to Mr. Golding. He will then investigate the complaint and will offer parents a meeting to discuss the outcome of the investigation. At this point, this is likely to be virtual or over the telephone. And then if the concern still remains unresolved, then the parents are advised to write to the governing body. So we hope that you found this useful and informative, and should you have any further questions, you obviously can email into the school. So thank you very much, and thank you all for your continued support. Diolch yn fawr.